No back-to-back chips this year. Can the Thunder get back on top next season? Let's get them started on this edition of The Nest. Hello everybody, welcome back to The Nest RXP. My name is Robin, welcoming you back as we continue to rebuild NBA teams in their offseason. And today we've got a team that a lot of teams are keeping their eye on, but honestly, I don't think we're going to make a lot of changes, and that is the OKC Thunder. So this will be a relatively quick rebuild if you can't tell from the timestamp already. This will be a quick, easy rebuild because I don't think they need a lot of changes, and I think that they have a good core. And while I will get into some of what I think they should do in a couple minutes, I think realistically this is the route that they're going to go down. But before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure to just stay tuned to the TikTok, to the Instagram, to all that stuff, because once I get done rebuilding NBA teams in their offseason, I'm going to be focusing more on what's actually going on in the NBA offseason and what's going on specifically with my New Orleans Pelicans and just things going on and things like that. So just stay tuned. So like I said, the Thunder I think are in a good position. I do think I'm a firm believer that they do need to trade Jalen Williams at some point. They can't this offseason because I believe he has a trade restriction for a bit. But I do think that at some point they're going to need to trade J-Dub and get somebody else at that starting three spot alongside SGA in them. Will they do it this offseason? Probably not. That's why I didn't do it in this rebuild. But I do think that having three guys like Chet, like J-Dub, like SGA, those three guys under contract is going to hurt you detrimentally when it comes to building up the rest of your roster. So, plus, I don't think J-Dub, I don't want to say like J-Dub isn't worth it, but if you're going to be paying that much, I would like a better fit at that three spot. More of like a Michael Porter Jr., Trey Murphy type, someone who's a spacer, not really another slasher. But regardless, that's all hypothetical for the future. What they're doing this offseason, in my opinion, what they should do is they should start by renouncing Lou Dort, just letting him walk, signing and trading him for somebody else, just get some value back for him, whatever the case may be. You also renounce Cambridge Williams, Pelicans legend. You can sign and trade him as well. I just let him walk. I don't think he's necessary for this team. I would also deny Isaiah Hartenstein's team option and then re-sign him to a 3-year, $45 million deal or whatever contract he's willing to accept. If he's willing to accept like a 3-year, 30 mil or a 3-year, 40 mil, just something cheaper than the 22 or 25 million that he was making previously. I also went ahead, and this is one that a lot of people have been drawing up, is trading picks 12, 17, and 37 for pick 9 from the Dallas Mavericks. You may also need to give up future picks because I don't know how much the Mavs are going to milk you out of those picks, but essentially trading your 3 first round or 2 first round picks and a second round pick for a pick 9, and then with that pick drafting Ada Mara, who the Thunder have been linked to. They really are interested in Ada Mara, and I honestly like the fit. I think if Ada can turn into that really prolific center that they are looking for, then Isaiah Hartenstein can either move to the bench or they can just move off of Hartenstein, and they will have a cheaper option in Ada Mara for at least a few years. And other than that, there's a couple things that you still need to do. Like, I couldn't draw up. I'm not gonna lie, I tried my hardest to find a good trade option for Isaiah Joe, for Aaron Wiggins, Thomas Sorber, and people like that to try and cut salary costs. But it is so hard with the second apron because you can't aggregate players, you can't aggregate players. So it's like, it's so hard to get off that salary. So I didn't draw up a specific trade for that. I know people have been drawing up trades, but from what I've saw, I don't know how well they will work. So if you can find a trade where you can just get off Isaiah Joe and maybe give up a second round pick or something to get just cash considerations back or just a future protected pick to just clear salary, I would absolutely do that. But second apron makes it hard. So for now, they're kind of, I don't want to say they're stuck with Isaiah Joe. Obviously, there's a way they can do it, but I could not drop a specific trade for it. But for now, he's still on my team. But if you can find a good trade for him, please do it. And other than that, that's about it. Like I said, a super quick rebuild. I don't think the Thunder need to make any significant changes. Like I said, just couple trades, couple tweaks, get healthy as well. Assume that J Dub and Chet and everyone's going to be healthy next season, and the team will look something like this. So the MVP, shai-Gilgeous Alexander, will continue to run the point guard with Cason Wallace at shooting guard. You could either do Cason Wallace, AJ Mitchell, or Alex Caruso, whoever you prefer. J Dub will run the 3, Chet Holmgren at the 4, and Hartenstein at the 5. And then off the bench, AJ Mitchell, Alex Caruso, Jared McCain, Jay Will, the other Jalen Williams, and Ada Mara. And then also you got Isaiah Joe, Nikola Topic, Thomas Sorbear, Aaron Wiggins, all the guys that you basically didn't trade for salary cap purposes. So, like I said, this is still a really good team. They're still a very expensive team. That's not going to change anytime soon, but you still have a very big opportunity to compete out of be a dominant team next season, especially if Casey Walls can continue to develop the way he has been going. Because I'm very high on him as a like point guard, shooting guard of the future with this Thunder team. And if J Dub can get healthy as well, that would be huge for this team. Plus, you got AJ Mitchell, one of the best contracts in the league, and that's going to help out immensely. So, if you can find a way to get off Isaiah Joe and possibly Nikola Topic, then that that salary reduction will be huge for your future. But again, I couldn't drop anything specifically for it. But yeah, like I said, that's about it. Let me know what you think. Should the Thunder continue down with this core, with this SGA, Chet, J Dub core, or should they look to trade J Dub for maybe a better fit? Let me know in the comments down below. I know people have mixed feelings about the Thunder, but I'm interested to see what people think. Will this core continue to work, or will they need to make changes in order to compete for like a longer period? Let me know. But until then, y'all just stay tuned for more content. And until then, peace.